I forgot how to do this.
Well, without the music.
Wait a minute. I got to remember how to be a host again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this or not. It's been.
We are back. That's what something like that I could hear you saying. Something like.
All right, everybody. We are back. It's been a year and I don't know how many months, but a lot of months.
A year and 3 years.
It's been a year and 3 years since we've done a show.
Is this the actual show, or are you just warming up?
It might have been the show already. I have no idea. This could either be the beginning or maybe I'll edit this out. I have no idea.
Well,
it's gonna be rusty. It's gonna be rusty. I'll say that much.
No doubt.
Because we're trying to do something here through Skype. No, not Skype. Zoom. Yeah, Skype is like very 5 years ago.
Zoom is very current. Just in case nobody's ever heard of Zoom before.
Everybody knows what Zoom is.
Oh, really? Okay,
yeah,
never mind.
Everybody's living their life on Zoom right now. You don't think so?
No, they are. It was sarcasm. Did you forget already? I like to be sarcastic.
Wait, what's sarcasm? I haven't been out of the house.
No, really.
I haven't talked to another human being other than my wife and kid. And God love them.
This is actually going to be. This is going to be.
Sense of humor.
What I think is going to be great about this is actually being home and being able to still try to put a show together, because we clearly haven't done shows in a really long time, and a lot of that had to do with us trying to get together.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, work schedules are in the way. I mean, now we're barely working anymore.
Families in the way.
Families in the way. Yeah, all sorts of shit. But if we can pull this off from our houses and it doesn't sound too terrible over Zoom or Skype, but Zoom, then maybe we could do this again.
And I got to be honest, like looking at you, there's not really much of a lag. I think I think it's pretty good actually, because it looks like we're actually having conversation. We've yet to step all over each other, which I'm sure we will.
Yeah,
at some point.
I do want to take a moment here and just acknowledge that it has been a long time since we've done a show, and obviously 2020 was a shit year for a lot of reasons. One of those being a global pandemic, which unfortunately took the life of our friend and former co-host Marshall. So we did lose him along the way, which is really sad, but
he's here. He's with us in spirit.
In spirit. Yeah. So I'd like to say I'm going to pour one out for him, but I'm not going to pour one out for him.
Oh my God. The last show we did, I was still drinking. I can't even pour one out. I don't drink anymore. It's like when we started the show originally.
So let's catch up a little bit on your life then. So you stopped drinking.
Nobody wants to hear about my life.
Yeah, I do.
Let's be honest.
No, I do, and I think our listeners do, because let's be honest, the only listeners we have left right now are like the really super hardcore ones. So, like, us and probably our parents. Like,
my parents don't listen to this. No way. I'm not even saying that to be funny. They've never listened to 1 second of the show. The last thing they want to hear is the real me. Like the last thing they want to hear is what really comes out of my mouth when they're not around.
I could see that.
Yeah. So, but they don't even listen. Anyway, the point I was bringing it up because I can't pour one out.
Right.
So it'll only be a matter of months.
Pour out an O'Doul's or something
before I spiral into that drunken mess on the show again.
Now that we started the show, the drinking's coming back soon. That's what's going to happen.
Yep.
All right. Well, we used to flip a coin to decide who was going to go first with our topic here.
I could actually flip a coin if you want.
Yeah. Yeah. Flip it.
And I could.
I got to trust you though.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
Well, we're on video.
Yeah, but I can't. See. Oh, you got the coin out.
Let's see.
Yeah, but it's out of focus.
You're out of focus.
No, I'm not. All right, now it's in focus.
All right, heads or tails?
Heads.
I don't even know how to.
Go ahead. All right, there it goes. It's flipping. And it is, I don't know what that is. Is that heads or tails?
It looks like the Statue of Liberty. I believe she has a head. Let's look at the other side.
What's the other side?
Tails.
Tails.
That's the Statue of Liberty again.
So that's heads?
Oh no. That's tails. Because the other side is. Come on, land on it. What the hell? Every time I do it.
Oh, dude, I'm always calling heads then.
There you go. Look.
Oh yeah, all right. So I called heads and it landed tails. So you go first.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was surprised that it actually landed on you because I usually have to go first.
All right, you ready? Here's the return of our sound effects too.
Topic number 1.
Version 2.
I thought you were gonna play the topic number 2 sounder. To be a douche. Okay, so what I'm really calling bullshit on today is the name of snowboard tricks. I think is kind of silly kind of ridiculous. I think.
What were you watching, the X Games?
No, I wasn't actually. This is something that's been on my list for I think like a year and 3 years.
Okay.
But no, but I have. And whenever you hear them, like when they so and so has a let's see, like a front side fakie to a switch stance, backside, whatever, right? And it's just like, come on, can you name this? Call these something that we have an idea what you're talking about, right?
They're trying to name them like cool things.
Well, that's it. So snowboarding was always like a cool thing. Now I know they took some of it from skateboarding, just from looking at it briefly.
Right.
But again, if you're just an average person watching snowboarding or watching the X Games, you have no idea what they're saying. A front side, backside, front side are pretty obvious. But
honestly, like it happens so
fakie,
fast. Like it happens so fast. Like I don't even know how the announcers are figuring out what they're doing. Like sometimes I think like they're just making it up.
Yeah, you know how like an announcer in baseball can be a guy that never played baseball before?
Yeah.
If I highly doubt snowboarding announcers have never been snowboarders, because then you'd have to learn all this. These have to be things that have been kind of just burned into these guys' brains from snowboarding their whole life, right?
So
so what's up?
I was gonna say, do you have like a list of the names?
So I got some here to kind of go through. The most popular are like switch stance and fakie. Do you know what a fakie is?
Yes.
Okay. Well, go ahead.
A fakie is when you go up and come down backwards. So you go up the half pipe, like you don't do you don't do the 180-degree turn, and you come down backwards, right?
Okay.
So right.
And that comes from skateboarding, right?
Yeah, skateboarding and biking too. Yeah.
Oh, really?
In BMX as well. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
That's why I know it.
Oh, because you used to do it on. Did you ride half pipes when you BMX'd?
I did.
Is that a phrase, BMX'd? When you used to ride BMX bikes?
I did, yeah.
Did you really do half pipes?
Yeah, I built a couple of my own.
Oh.
That's what taught me construction. I spent my childhood building launch ramps, quarter pipes, and half pipes.
What when I watch stuff on TV and I see these people learning how to do this shit, a lot of like guys are jumping into like foam pits and stuff. Like, in other words, the first time you try a half pipe, you're just in it. Like you haven't really tried that before. So the first time you ride a bike up a half pipe,
you've never done it.
You've never done it. So you're like, did you fall the first time? Do you remember? I mean,
I don't remember the first time. Like, again, this is going back to like 80s or 90s for me. I'm like almost 50 years old. So this is like old school BMX. Like, so back then, like you'd most likely have a quarter pipe before you'd have a half pipe. Like some kid in your block probably made one.
Yeah.
Right? So you'd go and you'd try to ride that. And it was probably only 8 feet wide. Right. So like your margin for error.
Real quick, I had a quarter pipe. It was the only ramp my father built for us. I used to have to jump it into the grass on my skateboard because I would fall on the concrete. But anyway, go ahead. Such a loser.
So, but you had no margin for error. So you kind of had to figure out how to do it. So I don't remember exactly, but I imagine I fell a lot in the beginning.
I just can't imagine that feeling of.
But I also like, I would go off of launch ramps all the time too, where you just like do a jump, right? Like just your typical jump.
Yeah.
Right. And we'd aim those things on a bike. You could aim them towards the grass. So I would go off those things and I learned how to do like 180s and 360s and stuff on that. So by the time I got to a quarter pipe, I already knew I could flip the bike around a little bit.
Yeah, but you're jumping and landing. Like on a half pipe, you need to get up in the air and you need to kind of do like a 180 on the same kind of angle.
Yeah.
Because you're coming back down whether you're facing down or not.
You kind of, you kind of like the first couple times you do it, you kind of almost want to go up and just do like a really steep turn. Did I lose you?
That makes sense.
I lost your video.
What?
I still hear you, but I lost your video.
I think the camera died.
It's all right. Whatever.
Okay.
So you go up and you just kind of ride around the ramp. Like you wouldn't exactly like get the wheels off the ramp. Like if you had a wider ramp, this is why I pointed out 8 feet before, right? If you had a wider ramp, it would be easier to do that, to just kind of go up and do like a big sweeping turn without your wheels leaning. And that kind of gives you the feel of what it's going to be like to turn in the air. But then you got to just like kind of, what would the term be, like rip the Band-Aid off and just go for it at one point, but then you don't go super high either. Like a lot of those quarter pipes back in the day, or half pipes even, were like 8 feet high, and like that was it. So you weren't like clearing the lip of the ramp and then doing like a 180 and then coming down. you were doing those underneath the lip of the ramp. You were just pretty much going up and bunny hopping, which, by the way, you could call bullshit on bike like trick names too. I mean, bunny hop. Like, come on.
Isn't
you
a bunny
could've
hop
called
when
that-
you just basically you hop the bike off the ground and land it back on the tires?
Yeah,
It's a
but
bunny
you
hop,
could-
right?
Yeah, but could you call that anything like better, like bunny hop?
Cooler.
Really?
You mean?
Yeah,
Cooler.
better. Yeah,
Cooler.
cooler.
Because it's the same
Fine.
thing. You know, I got to say back to the half pipe for a minute that you know, I am a snowboarder. I'm
Yeah.
not like a skate park, snow park. I'm not that guy. I'm just, you know, give me some speed and I just like to cruise down the mountain. My
Right.
buddy did take me through a half pipe quite a long time ago.
Yep.
And again, I'm still learning this microphone. If I'm popping my P's, I apologize. I'll get used to backing up a little bit. So I did go through a half pipe one time, and you don't realize how tall those walls are
Yeah, they're huge,
until
man.
you get in the bottom of
Yep.
that. I believe they're like 12 feet high.
Yeah, they're
I mean,
huge.
they're no joke. They're scary when you're at the bottom looking at those.
Yeah.
These guys, girls, whatever you want to call them nowadays,
Yep.
they go off these things like it's nothing. I mean, you talk
Yep.
about having a sack,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, dude, it's crazy how high they go off of those things. On bikes too. Like, it's just insane how, and motorcycles now, like in fucking like snowmobiles too. Like this
Yeah.
big,
Yeah.
these guys are going like 20 feet over the top of that fucking thing, and that thing's already 12 feet off the ground.
And
So
those are the things
crazy.
that I was saying that you know, people they jump into foam pits to learn, you know.
Right.
But
Yeah.
when you're learning how to ride in a half pipe, that's not happening.
No, you
You know?
fall a lot, dude. I fell a lot. Give me the list of names. You had a list of names of tricks. So we said fakie. I know what that is. I don't know how you do a switch stance anything when your feet are buckled to a fucking board.
Yeah,
I have no idea what that is.
I actually read the switch identifier refers to any trick that a snowboarder performs with their back foot forward. So a switch would be just
Oh, okay.
riding. If you're regular, you ride goofy. If you're goofy, you ride
Right.
regular. They call that
Yeah,
a
I got
switch
it.
stance.
Okay, got
Which
it.
is also odd because think about go back to the announcers. Like how
They have
much
to
do
know.
you have to
Yeah.
know? Like these snowboarders, the majority of people have not heard of most of these people.
Right.
You know, and as an announcer, you have to not only know who these people are, but you need
Yeah.
to know which way they ride. And
Yeah,
then you
true.
need to, in order to be able to recognize that as a switch stance almost immediately, you know. So
Yeah.
front side, we obviously, I think that one's pretty obvious.
Yep.
I don't know what they call backside. Like these are the most common, you know, front side and backside are the most common.
Sounds like you're either grabbing the board in front of you or you're grabbing the board behind you.
Yep, there you go. For aerial maneuvers, front side and backside identify the direction of the rotation of the spin. Oh, there
Yeah.
you go. Okay, so it's whichever way. So if you're spinning, whichever in the direction that you ride,
Right.
that's a front side. If you're spinning the opposite,
Right.
I was going to say
thought-
backwards.
Is there any that don't make sense? Is there some stupid one like
Yes, yeah, we're
like
getting to the good ones.
the millennial crab douche? Like, what's that trick? No idea.
There's a Pop Tart.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a Pop Tart.
Sponsored by Kellogg's.
Yep. Airing from a fakie to forward on a quarter pipe or half pipe without rotation. That's called the Pop Tart.
Wait,
Airing
say it
from
again?
a
Airing-
fakie.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you
Yep.
come down in a fakie,
Yeah.
airing from a fakie to forward
Okay.
on a quarter pipe or half pipe without rotation.
I don't
It
know. what
sounds
that
like
means.
you come down in a fakie and you hit the other side and come straight back down forward.
I don't know.
Like
That
you're
seems
just
like-
it's a Pop Tart. So you're coming down backwards off
Yeah.
of one side.
Right.
Right. You skate to the other side backwards. You go up and you're just going up and down like a Pop Tart popping out of the toaster.
That sounds like it takes too long. That sounds like, like the announcer's going to be like, oh my God, it looks like he's going for a Pop Tart. Is he going for the Pop Tart? He is. It's a Pop Tart. Unbelievable. The flying tomato does it again.
The flying tomato.
Yeah.
Let's
John
get
White.
to
That's what they
a
call it.
very common. These are grabs. These are grabs. So the
Okay.
roast beef is a very popular phrase, apparently.
I've heard of that trick, but I don't know what it is. Is that a skater trick too? Probably.
The roast beef, I don't know. Let's see. The rear hand reaches between the legs and grabs the heel edge between the bindings.
Right.
Okay, while the rear leg is boned.
Right.
I don't know what that means either, but so basically you reach through your legs and you grab the other side of the board. All right.
Right.
So the roast beef is very common. And the reason I bring that up is because there's a move called the beef curtains. Okay. Beef
Okay.
curtains is a roast beef and a Grossman in between the legs at the
What's a
same
Grossman?
time.
I don't know what that is.
Man, this is just like they need like one of these things where they point arrows, or what do you call those
Yeah.
charts?
You need like a decoder ring.
I need to know the
Seriously, though.
alphabet. I don't even see the Grossman. I don't know. I should have read that before.
I feel like this is an age test. Like if you know like 10 or more of these, you're probably Generation X. If you know like 50 or more, you know, you're
Yeah.
probably a millennial.
Dude, there's so many too.
Like,
There's
yeah.
so
Like
the beef.
I have no
go ahead.
idea.
Yeah, the beef curtains. So it's a roast beef and a Grossman at the same time, also
Right.
known as the king or steak tartare. There's a bloody Dracula. Okay, a trick in which
Okay.
the rider grabs the tail of the board with both hands. I don't think I could like that takes a lot of flexibility.
And then bites it.
I would. The rear hand grabs the board as it would do it. What? The rear hand grabs the board as it would do it during a regular tail grab, but the front hand blindly reaches for the board behind the rider's back. I don't get it.
I don't get that one either.
I'm not going
It's
to
hard
read
to
all
even
of them.
visualize
I'm going
that.
to read some of these names.
Just read the stupid names.
Yeah,
Yeah.
chicken salad.
That's pretty good.
This one, there's a China Air. I don't even know if you could say that anymore.
But what do you think? Like we should just do like, okay, so if you tell me the name of the trick and I'll try to tell you what it is.
Okay.
Like a chicken salad.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like what would a chicken salad be? So chicken salad would be going off a half pipe and unbuckling your front binder and then buckling your foot back in before you land.
You got
That's
it.
a chicken salad.
You got it.
No, what is it really though?
Didn't I read that one already?
No.
Oh, the chicken salad. The rear hand reaches between the legs and grabs the heel edge between the bindings, while the front leg is boned. The wrist is rotated inward to complete.
Wait, I thought that was a roast beef.
There's no bones in roast beef.
I thought the roast beef had like the boned leg in it.
All right, what about the no, never mind. Not doing that one.
Do it.
What about here, I'll get a good one. What about the pickpocket? Oh wait, no, I got a better one. The rusty trombone.
That's not really a trick.
It is. It's a roast
really?
beef and nose grab performed at the same time.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
How about the slob?
A slob is a belly flop. It's like you do it like you just air it out, full out like this with your arms up, and you just land on your chest and slide. That's a slob.
I like how I say slob and right away all you think of is belly.
Yeah.
What about the stiffy?
That's like a belly flop, only it's like you can steer it a little bit better. No, I hope
you don't land on your front.
A stiffy quickly becomes a brokey.
There's a hole in the pipe. A brokey. Let's see. There's some other funny ones. Although the tame dog.
I have no idea. It's got to all just be like different
Yeah.
positions of where you're grabbing the thing. It's like 3 spins and you grab the nose of the thing. Like, okay.
There's a McTwist. Like at least that one kind of sounds like a snowboarding trick.
Well, that's a skateboarder trick too.
There's a backside Misty. There's an egg flip.
Dude,
There's
honest
a
to God.
killer stand.
All right. At what point is there just too many fucking snowboarding tricks?
Dude, was he?
Like at some point, like, look, your feet are stuck to the fucking thing.
Dude,
all you can really do is grab the board or not grab the board and spin. And like,
Shift.
that's it. So they're just like, okay, if he holds it with one hand, it's a shifty. If he holds it with 2 hands, it's a stiffy.
It's a stink bug. There's a stink bug.
See, I hate that trick already.
There's a tuck knee. There's a nose manual. Pretzel.
Oh, yeah.
There's a disaster. There's a penguin walk. They did a penguin walk into a nose buster. What did I say?
Really?
Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
these things are nuts. There's so many, and that's really the point. Is that, I mean, I read a bunch. It's a fraction of these.
I think there's too many
tricks. I think it's kind of
bullshit.
silly. It is
I think
it is, man. It's just kind of trying to make up different
Well,
names, but
you can't even get your feet off the goddamn thing. I'm gonna go back to that. Like at least with a skateboard, like your foot comes off, you could put your foot in different positions and different things. But like I don't know, like how many of these tricks are the same thing, but just a little different. Like I said, like you're holding on with one hand instead of 2, so it's a completely different trick.
yeah.
There's not too many things you could do with a snowboard. No disrespect to snowboarders everywhere. I'm sure it's fucking great.
Just,
You know
yeah.
what-
Oh no, absolutely. If you know, look, if you're in it, you're in it. It's almost like it's clicky, you know?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
you know most of these. You know, there's a beef carpaccio. Sounds like it, right? It's a sandwich.
I'll give it to him for the names.
Yeah,
I mean, come on. You might as
Yep.
well name like tricks a bunch of stupid things.
I guess.
Why not?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there's a lot of them, but I just think let's dumb it down a little bit. But so there you go. Snowboard tricks names are
Bullshit.
bullshit.
Yeah. All right. I'm in for that one.
Mainly because I don't get it.
Yeah.
If I was a snowboarder and I understood them all, then it would be different.
Yeah, but even then, like you could still look at it and be like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
Like I said, like I love BMX back when I was a kid, right? But like Bunny Hop is a stupid name. Miami Hopper is a stupid fucking name.
What's a Miami Hopper?
You would
remember?
turn, yep, you would turn the wheel 45 degrees and you'd put the handlebars down, the front wheel. So it's like you'd go up like in an endo, that's another one,
Mhm.
right? You'd turn the bar 45 degrees so your wheel was sideways to the ground, and you'd bring the bike all the way forward so your one handlebar would touch the ground. You could kind of stall like that, and you could pull back up and out of it. So it's like
Doesn't
a
make
real
sense to
old
me.
school trip. Yeah, I'd have to show you a picture of it and you get it, but
Why don't you do it?
I could do it.
You should try it again.
I need a BMX bike. You got one?
I do.
I could do it. I could absolutely still do one.
I think we have a kink.
No, I can't. I'm not going to ride a kink. No, that's too far.
But
All right,
Ye-
snowboarder tricks. All
yes,
those
sir.
they're all dumb. I agree with you.
Well, the tricks aren't the names.
Fucking hate snowboarders. No, I don't. Sorry, Tim Lizzo. I like snowboarders.
Tim Lizzo.
Yeah, he's a
I
snowboarder.
know Tim.
Yeah, he probably knows all those tricks.
I
He's the
always
guy we
get
work with.
him and the other Tim mixed up. There we go. I'm back.
Yeah. No, you never left. You were there the whole time. It's a
I'm
nice
trying to
camera.
get it focused.
It's too bad nobody who's listening can see you. It's a really nice shot. Isn't everybody glad they waited for a year and 3 years to hear this show?
Yeah, really. It's all right. We're a little rusty. All right, you're up, pal. You want me to flip the coin?
No, you don't have to flip it anymore because now it's my turn. Here,
Oh.
I'll make it official.
Topic number 2.
All right, topic number 2. So this is one I've been sitting on this topic for about a year and a half, and I'm real happy that I finally get to do it. And I don't know, I honest to God have delayed doing this topic because I don't know if you're exactly the right person for this topic or exactly the wrong person for this topic.
Okay.
All right, but it could go either way. So I have no idea if this is going to be a 3-minute conversation or a 15-minute long conversation. No clue how this one's going to go.
Okay.
All right. So without getting into a story about it, in my refrigerator and in everybody's refrigerator across America, except for maybe yours, is a Ziploc bag full of fucking condiment packets. Right? Ketchups, mustards, soy sauces, duck sauce, Chinese mustard, fucking
Where's
like
Chinese mustard?
Chinese mustard. I got a packet right here. I could show you.
It's in your pocket?
Yeah.
That's
you
too
go.
risky for me.
There you go. Chinese mustard.
What's the difference between Chinese mustard and regular like American mustard?
It's
Different
spicy.
flavor? Is it?
It's spicier. Yeah.
Okay.
Or you might have like your assortment of Taco Bell hot sauces. Like I have here a fire sauce and a Diablo sauce. Right?
Bad influence.
Yep. Soy sauces. Right. So
Oh,
everybody's got these fucking packets in the refrigerator just in case. Right?
Mhm.
Like, oh, you know what? We got Chinese food. I can't throw those away. Let me just hang on to those fucking things. Right?
Yeah.
Dude, these things are good for about a year or 2 years. I guarantee that there's probably some of these things floating around in my refrigerator that are like 5 years old for fucking sure, because nobody ever uses these things. We all keep these fucking things around, but nobody hardly ever uses them to a degree where they would recycle so quick that you could guarantee that there's not a bad one in there.
Why
There
don't
is-
you request no soy sauce when you order? Waster.
No, it's worse than that, because you go to the place and you grab them yourself and you throw them in the bag. It's not
Oh,
even
like
like
one day I'll
it's
use
not
it.
even like
Do you use
No.
soy sauce on anything other than Chinese food? Just for example, soy sauce. But
no, but that's the thing. It's like so if I go and I get Chinese food and I grab some of these packets of like duck sauce, the mustard, the hot
Mhm.
sauce, the soy sauce, right? And then we go home and maybe use 1 or 2 of them. right? But then you end up not using all the other ones. Well, you don't want to just throw them away. So you throw them into that Ziploc that's in your refrigerator of just miscellaneous fucking condiment packets like this. And then now I have like, as if there's ever going to be a time where I'm like, oh my God, I didn't get soy sauce. What? Thank God I have that packet. It's so fucking stupid.
Or
And if you
ketchup.
ever, yes, or ketchup, or like I said, or a fucking fire sauce from Taco Bell. Like there's never a time when I go to Taco Bell where I think to myself, like, okay, oh fuck, I forgot to get the fire sauce. Like that's never happened. They ask you.
I've honestly, I've never even heard of it.
But there's no reason to keep these things around, but everybody fucking does it. Everybody has this bag. And I'm telling you, like for the amount of times that you go in and try to like, oh, thank God I have a fire sauce, right? You're not turning over that bag. So some of these packets have been in everybody's refrigerator for maybe 20 years. Who the fuck knows? I have no idea. But every single one of these things is a fucking waste. And we all have this. It's like the junk drawer of condiments.
There's
So
been
now-
times that the ketchup packet, there's only a couple I could relate to, has saved our asses. Like, oh shit, we're out of ketchup, you know? Oh, wait a minute.
Right.
Wait a minute. We have some, oh, look at this. You know,
Okay,
I don't
so-
know how long it's been in here, but here you go.
But that's what I'm saying. Then you crack the thing open and you pour it out and it's all just like vinegar. Like, ugh.
Is that
Like how long is it?
there vinegar and
man.
ketchup?
It's like ketchup packet roulette. Like you have no idea if you're going to get a good one or a bad one in there. Just terrible.
So let's back up for a second.
Yeah.
Do you recall how I feel about condiments?
Yeah, that's why I said you're either the worst person or the best person to talk to about this,
Yeah.
because I know you hate condiments.
Yeah.
So therefore, you could either be like, well, I don't have one of those in my life, so I have no idea what you're talking about. Or you
Mhm.
could be like, yes, fuck condiments. You shouldn't have them in your refrigerator at all.
I get so grossed out by like that Chinese mustard being in your pocket. Like all I could think about is, God forbid that burst in my pocket. I would have
Yeah.
to throw the pants in the garbage.
Really?
I would throw the pants
Just
in the
from that?
garbage. Swear to God, I'm not just saying that.
Just
The
from a
pants are
packet.
going in the garbage because there's mustard in the pocket. I'm not touching it. You know, for example, like I
But
think
you
my
can wash
wife-
your pants. You don't have to throw them away because you got mustard in them.
Yeah, but I don't want that going through the wall. I don't want to ever put my hand in that pocket again. That's how gross I think mustard is. You know, same thing with ketchup.
What about duck sauce? I don't even know what duck sauce is. Like nobody knows what this
duck
is.
pee. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it does.
I
kinda
don't know
look
what
like
duck sauce is either.
don't
We
know.
do have soy sauce every once in a
It's
while
got-
around here.
that. If you could look at it, it's got some pulp in it.
It looks
too.
gross.
Yeah, it's
It
delicious.
looks really
though.
gross.
Man, you put some Chinese mustard and duck sauce on an egg roll.
That
That's the
sounds
shit
horrible.
right there.
That
No,
sounds
that's
horrible.
it's delicious.
I'm sure it
It's
is.
delicious.
I'm sure it is.
But you know what? Every time I get Chinese food, I get new mustard
Yeah.
and I get new duck sauce.
Well, why
So
don't
I
you
don't
throw
know why
the
I
other
got to
ones
keep.
in the garbage?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. But that's me and everybody else in America. We all have that.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yep.
Like I
So
said, it's a
so-
junk drawer.
even on a small scale, I could compare with ketchup and like say soy sauce.
Yeah.
That's basically like we'll have a few of them floating around in our refrigerator.
Right.
Because that's really all that they eat. But they're still in there. They're still floating around. There might not be enough to put them in a Ziploc bag, but I would say that, I never thought of that. The normal family would have a bag full of stuff.
Yeah, there's just
I
like
can't relate to
again,
that.
you just don't want to throw it away because you're like, oh, look at all these packets. It just seems like a waste.
Yeah,
So you,
dude, I
you,
would throw that in a second. I would throw it in the garbage.
you hang out. You're like, let me hang on to these in case we ever need them. But you never fucking need them. And like I said, in the times that you do need them, it's like playing ketchup packet roulette because you don't know how long they fucking have been in there.
Squeeze
they're
each one of
literally-
them.
Yeah, they're literally only good
Feel
for
'em.
2 years. They're literally only good
Wait.
for 2 years.
Do they have expiration dates on them?
No, there's nothing printed, but I had to look it up. That's the other thing. So there's nothing anywhere written on these things about when to throw away these little. They're 9 ounces, right? Which is another weird thing. Like the industry just decided like all these little ketchup condiment packets are going to be 9 ounces, and then they just did the same thing with soy sauce and fire sauce and everything else. It just became the industry standard.
I wonder
But-
why.
But there's never been one person in the history of people who's used one of those tiny ketchup packets, 9 ounces, and been like, "Oh, that's good. I'm enough. That's enough right
Yeah.
there for me."
Yeah,
You need like 20 of those motherfuckers.
yeah, those
you
should
know what I mean?
definitely be bigger.
Yeah, it should be.
Absolutely.
They should be bottle sized.
Does anybody eat mustard? Like, and I'm not just saying this as a joke, but does anybody really even eat mustard anymore? Like, what do you put mustard on?
Oh, I
Besides a
love
hot
mustard.
dog. What do you put it
Ham
on?
sandwich. Ham sandwich.
Really?
Yeah, mustard, cheese, ham. Yeah, pretty
Okay.
good. Yeah,
Okay.
not bad.
And is there enough
Yeah,
mustard
or
in
hot
that
dog.
packet?
No,
No.
there's not at all.
Should
No,
make bigger. Well, you know what? They're giving them away for free too. You
I don't know.
What
It's
is in a
fucking
fire
terrible.
sauce?
I
Like,
mean,
what is that?
the ingredients are listed, but I'm blind, so I don't know.
Well, you don't have to
But-
read it. I just mean, like, what is it? What
I
do
don't
you
know
put
if you
it
can
like?
read it on the camera.
Is it
It's
made
right
to put
there.
on tacos?
Yeah, it's the spicing up your Taco Bell.
Gross.
And by the way, it doesn't taste good on anything but Taco Bell. If you take a fire sauce from Taco Bell and put that on some other Mexican food, it's terrible.
Wait. Taco Bell's Mexican food?
It's supposed to be.
Why? Just because they're tacos? When it comes to shit sitting in the refrigerator,
Yeah.
like, I don't like old shit sitting there because I get grossed out by that. So I'm really good about throwing shit in the garbage.
Are you?
Now, condiments, I don't see them. I don't see them.
Right.
So they'll sit around.
Well, so I would make the argument back to that everybody, most people, I would say, most functioning adults would do that with their refrigerator. Like most people, get rid of the old shit, keep the new, you know what I mean? They kind of cycle everything. But these little fucking condiment packets just kind of stay, wherever you keep your butter and shit, like it's just in your refrigerator somewhere. Like I said, it's like a junk drawer. You have a junk drawer in your house?
No.
You have a drawer where
Honestly.
you just throw like pencils and old locks and shit and like
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same thing. It's
Like
like,
condiments. You put the mustard with the pencils and locks.
no, not in there.
But what about there's a responsibility factor here too. I'm
Just
not
like
gonna
an
let that
abyss.
one slide. Huh?
It's just an abyss. It's just a place to put something where it just goes and you forget about it. And then one day you're like, do we have any soy sauce? And by the way, most people have soy sauce in the refrigerator anyway.
Well, that's
So
what
I
I was
don't know why
getting
we're-
to here.
I don't know why we're keeping these little fucking packets around.
So why don't you start acting like an adult, being
Yeah.
more responsible,
Right.
and not wasting stuff?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
So next
what
time
everybody
you
should do.
order Chinese food,
That's why I'm calling bullshit.
you're not gonna do it.
What I should do is throw away all these fucking packets that I have already
And
just-
start over.
and start over. And then every time we get Chinese food or Taco Bell or ketchup packets or whatever, just throw those away. There's no reason to keep them around whatsoever.
And I feel like the Ziploc bag is a bad influence because it's somewhere to put them. If you just have them
Yeah.
like laying around in there, that might get annoying, and you might be inclined to use it quicker if it doesn't have a home.
No, see what happens is at first they start laying around in there, and then you get annoyed by them laying around in there, so you get a Ziploc bag to put them in. So that way they're not just laying in there like you're a fucking animal. Like at least, I'm a regular human being here. I have my fucking mess organized. I have these things I'm never going to use completely put together. Yeah.
Well,
And
I
not to
don't know.
mention, by the way, so they're way too small. First off, 9 ounces we were talking about before, right? So it's not nearly enough. And secondly, like the amount of waste that these fucking things would cause too, just by throwing them out. Like how many people don't even use these fucking things and then just throw them away? So how much waste in the world, and I don't know the answer to this. I'm just throwing
Mhm.
this out there.
Yeah.
How much waste in the world is just these little fucking convenient packets that nobody uses?
When you go to Taco Bell, do they throw them in the bag with your food, or do you have to ask
No, they
for
ask
them?
you. You never went to Taco Bell?
I think once,
Yeah.
one time.
Yeah. We should tell everybody too, like you pretty much eat like a toddler, right? So like you get chicken fingers, right? With no sauce.
Yeah, I
And
don't eat chicken
pizza.
fingers really much anymore.
What do you eat?
Basically sandwiches and like
Burgers.
no, I can't even put down burgers. Like every 3, 4, 5 weeks, I have a burger.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not really. I live off of like protein bars now and like Cliff bars, and
When was
then
the
I'll have a
last-
nice big dinner.
when was the last time you got Chinese food?
I don't know if I've ever eaten Chinese food.
Seriously?
Carrie's the only one. My wife's the only one that eats. She'll get
She's the only one that eats?
she's the only one that eats in this house. She's the only one that looks like she doesn't eat in this house. But
That's true. Yeah.
she likes sushi, but we've
not
never
gonna eat
ordered
sushi.
Chinese food. Never.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just like
Because you
I
need
don't know.
condiments for it. That's why. I'm telling you, if you ever get an egg roll, trust me, duck sauce and Chinese mustard.
what's in an egg roll?
Not eggs, surprisingly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like,
It's like cabbages and I don't
Ugh.
even know what else is in there.
Yeah.
They're delicious though.
no, they're not.
No, they are. I'm telling
No.
you.
Everyone's different. I'm very.
You never had
different.
one.
I'm starting to see that there's a lot of picky eaters out there. It's like a mental block. It's really what it is. It's a mental, like a disorder.
Picky
You know,
eaters.
I was just thinking the other day, man. I swear to God, this just came back to me. I was thinking, like, man, if somebody like put a gun to my kid's head and was like, "Eat that, take a bite of that tomato," or your kid gets it, like I would have to think about it.
Right.
Like that's how much I hate tomatoes. That's
No,
how
you
grossed out.
would eat that tomato. Although I'm kind of with you. Tomatoes are disgusting.
That's what made me think of it. My son he eats tomatoes like apples.
Oh
You
God,
know?
that's gross.
Yeah, he puts them down, man. It's nuts. But like
You know,
it's a mental block.
that's kind of a
with
good
food.
point, by the way. You know, a tomato is pretty much ketchup, or ketchup is pretty much a tomato.
So they
So if you-
say.
So if you get a burger and you have tomatoes on it, there's really no reason to put more.
You're
You know what I mean?
doubling up.
You don't need to put ketchup on that thing, man. You already got the tomatoes on there.
Although, have you ever had a burger with like Taylor ham and bacon?
Yeah.
Same thing, doubled up. It is delicious. They are
Yeah,
slightly
but
different.
that's not a tomato. That's
Yeah.
Taylor ham and bacon. That sounds delicious. You know,
Yeah, absolutely. That's two different things. But a
you know,
tomato, it's not like they just crush
sliced
tomatoes
tomato-
and you have ketchup.
yeah, kind of. And then they put vinegar and sugar in it, and that's pretty much it. Right. So it's like it's tomatoes with tomato sauce on it. It's gross. So I call
People-
bullshit on
Yeah,
extra condiment packets laying around because
start using them. I'm telling you, man, fresh slate. Doesn't it feel good to get a fresh, clean slate?
just got to
Start
throw that
over.
shit away. Yeah.
Yeah.
And after this episode, I'm going to dump out my junk drawer now too, because
And yell at your wife. It's probably her fault.
no, I would never yell at her.
Yeah, you would.
No.
Is she out of jail yet?
For what? She didn't go to jail. What are you talking about?
I thought you'd play along.
But no,
Sorry. Thinking of someone else.
like slander. All right,
Well, it's good
everybody.
to be back, man. It's good to be back. It was good talking to you. I'll talk
You
to you in a
guys-
year and a half, buddy.
Yeah, you guys waited a year and a half for this shitty show. Yeah, I don't even know if are we still on Facebook and everything? Should we even promote like socials? Like
we're-
Facebook, Instagram?
We
Are
stopped
still
using
there?
Facebook a long time ago. We were using Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah, kind of.
I'm sure we'll get going again.
I mean, really just subscribe to our podcast feed, or don't, or tell
Yeah.
your friends to, or don't. I don't care. We're just doing this to see if we could do it. And maybe we can. Maybe we're not. Maybe this isn't actually happening. Maybe this sounds like it's going to be a podcast, but when we listen back, we're just going to be like, oh my God, that was dog shit.
Maybe we're doing
not
it for
gonna release
Marshall.
You know what, man? We should do this for Marshall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
God damn it. I don't want to end it on a sad note, but
Well,
all right. This one's for Marshall.
All right.
You're not going to
Peace
say
out.
peace? Yeah.
Peace out.